Hey there, good morning, fellas. How are you doing on this great Wednesday morning? Hopefully it's treating you well so far. Appreciate you finding some time to hang out with us here on Winning Best, talking our sports and talking our sports betting. Let me know in the comments section how your morning's going. I'm off to a tired start today. Had our soccer game last night, got home late, stayed up too late. Boy, what a game we had though last night. We went up against that number one team I told you guys about. That's a bunch of mid 20-year-olds that played together in college. 1 hour game, and we kept a clean sheet for 57 minutes. I thought we were maybe going to sneak our way into a little point there, but it wasn't meant to be. They finally finished one of their chances. They had chances, poor finishing, couple good saves there by our goalkeeper. In the end, we were done in with just a few minutes ago. They were able to slot one in. So pain right there when you want to run around the field for an hour, busting your ass, no subs, up against a team that is certainly better than you, fitter than you, younger than you, and they did the old smash in, grab, and got the 3 points. So always makes the morning a little bit tougher coming off a loss. So, all right, hopefully today treats us a little bit better, and obviously from a betting standpoint as well. Let's go ahead and get on into that recap, and then we'll dive on into the action today. We've got, I think it's 5 bets today on the card. Tweeted 3 bets already, so 2 of them, you don't know what the hell they are. You'll find out what they are on the payoff page. Throwing up that recap, we were tripped up yesterday. One of our bigger MLB cards of the entire year, where we had 8 plays on the card. We went 3 in 5. Needed one of the bets to go the other way, and we could have pulled in a profit. We'll talk about those. How about the Arsenal-Chelsea same-game parlay? We talked about that one. It was hit up by a few of you guys. Remember, we talked about Arsenal and the clean sheet. Price kind of got away from us here on the show, so it didn't make the official play, but it was nice to hear from a few of you on Twitter that you tailed the Arsenal clean sheet, so you got a good, plus 140-ish cash. We, of course, put that in the same game parlay. We did Arsenal to win to 0. Give me under on the corners and Declan Rice to have a shot. Hell, he had 3 shots in that match. Arsenal in full control of that game. Of course, Chelsea had some opportunities. You're going to get opportunities over the course of 90 minutes, but nothing that I thought that was real threatening to put our, Arsenal win to 0 in any real danger. And Chelsea without Cole Palmer, that day ain't a goddamn thing without Cole Palmer. So that was a nice win there. And soccer, that one certainly felt good. Running through those baseball bets, Mariners on the money line, they get the job done, jump out to an early lead. They hold on to it with that really great bullpen, so you love to see that one come through for us. Rays on the F5 run line, that was a little bit of a pain right there because they got the lead at the end of the 6th inning. Not only did they get the lead at the end of the 6th inning, but it was by Paredes who hit that 2-run home run. He was the player that hit that 2-run home run a few weeks ago when we were having onto that Rays F5 team total where he walked us off in the bottom of the 5th. So too bad we couldn't get him up in the 5th inning. They fall to the Detroit Tigers 1-0. Orioles F5 run line just didn't quite come through. They were in a big hole earlier in that game and couldn't overcome it. Padres F5 run line, a heartbreaker right there as they jump out to an early lead, but let the Rockies come all the way back. And then you mentioned needing one of those bets, and it could have been the Orioles, it could have been the Rays, it could have been the Padres, but god damn it could have also been those Blue Jays who was up 2-0. You even get an insurance run in the top of the 5th inning, so you feeling really good. Gausman is in control, cruising, very low pitch count. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, and then here comes the air. Here comes the air. Air never fails. Yeah, you were thinking it too, just alongside me. Air never fails. And they eventually, because of that error, extends the inning and are able to get not 1 run, not 2 runs to get us off the push. They get 3 runs to send a winning bet to a losing bet in the bottom of the 5th inning. Absolutely disgusting. Was sick watching that one unfolded, just with the error and everything. Man, again, it could have been any bet, but goddamn, it could have been that one that could have made our losing day into a winning day. Tough one right there. Abbott under 5.5 Ks, cruise, nice, easy, plus money cash, was never in threat of going 6 or more Ks. Corbin and Rogers gets it done. He can't get the win. Corbin spun him a little bit of a gem right there up against the Dodgers. Nowhere near going over his hits as he only allows 3 hits. Diamondbacks F5 team total. Didn't matter if you played that single play of over 2.5 or did the parlay that I did. We got a good cash right there. And thankfully the Twins helped us out right there. Turned a loss into a win right there by clawing back against the White Sox. Not too big of a surprise, right? The White Sox have an awful bullpen, so tuck us in with the win right there. So down on the day, down now on the week. Arbitrage, you can see right there. Picked up a couple of free bets. ESPN bet with a fantastic NBA first promo. And then, of course, Dinger Tuesday. We turned an arbitrage opportunity into Dinger Tuesday, but also then flipped a $20 free bet because there was 4 home runs hit between the Astros and the Cubs. So that's just that's a fantastic. That's 2 straight weeks we've been able to not only get free bets, but arbitrage the damn original home run play. That's been really good to us. So we'll look to use those a little bit later on in the week. All right, boys, how's it going, man? Before we jump into this MLB preview, how is everybody doing? What's pop-a-lopping? Need a bounce back, Tyler. Simply put, just need a bounce back. I mean, not that we got our ass handed to us yesterday, but need a bounce back, man. Need a bounce back. Hope your morning's doing well, man. Hope your morning is doing well. What's the weather like? It's a chilly one, man. You know what? I made the dreaded mistake, and if you're in Chicago and you want to blame somebody for the cold weather, I'll go ahead and take the blame, because you know what I did on Monday? I put the cold winter jacket back in the closet, and as I hung that shit up in the closet, I said, well, don't think I'll need this for the rest of the year. Yeah, 40 degrees and colder than shit out there today, so out comes the jacket. So I am in full blame. I'm in full blame. What's up, Mike? What's up, man? Yeah, blame me for the cold weather, Mike. I take all the blame. God, dog it. Dog it. Morning, Taylor. Morning, my man. You tailed the Abbott play. I'd love to hear that. Great read and crushed that closing line. Yeah, we're already crushed. I've sent out 2 pitching props already today. Crushed them both. One of them we got a full, the line moved, and one of them it went juicy as hell, so... Let's keep it rolling, Taylor. Let's keep it rolling. The Orioles, yeah, you and me both, my man. You and me. Good call on those Mariners. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, Jay. Where's Nick? Man went to Astros Cubs yesterday. Gave him a plus money winner with the Cubs. Told him that was the only play worth a damn. Where is Nick? Yesterday was full moon. Don't sweat it. I hear you, man. I don't sweat it, man. I've had enough losing days to bounce right back up, man. Let's get it, boys. Yeah, let's just go right to the MLB preview. What are we waiting on? Not waiting on it. Let's get it. All right, welcome on to the Payoff Pitch, where we do our full MLB preview every single day. Doesn't matter what game you're interested in, you'll hear some sort of analysis, whether it's on the menu there on the left-hand side or in rapid fire at the end, where we'll talk about every single game from a money line, run line, and over-under perspective. You will get a pick in every single game on today. Quick hits. I'd like to give you guys my opening thoughts. Yeah, just need a bounce back. Some analysis today will be short because I'm going to run back some plays that were pretty similar to yesterday. So I hate to regurgitate the same information and bore you to death. So sometimes I may just say shit worked out yesterday. We're just going to run the same shit back again today. So, and there's Nick popping up into the chat. Great first inning cash. Yeah, Cubs jumped out to 5-0, man. You love that, man. I'm glad that worked out well for you. You know, you're there supporting the home team. They put up a big 5 spot the first inning. They hold on to your plus money line cash. They love to see it. They had opportunity to even attack on a few extra runs a little bit there late in the game, but, you know, sometimes you can't get that timely hit. But, yeah, you love to see it. Stats were too close to ever bet on the Astros, we talked about yesterday. You're either taking a stab at the dog, or you're just going to lay off of it. The dog came through. All right, let's go ahead and jump on in around the bases. This is where we like to take a couple games and break them down, and I said the analysis will be a little short. This is where the analysis is definitely going to be short. Mariners money line, just going to go ahead and run back the exact same play from yesterday. We know the bullpen advantages that you get in spades. We know the offensive hitting versus right-handers that you're going to get in spades. And Bryce Miller versus John Gray has been about equal so far on the season. You could even make the case that Bryce Miller, the Mariners starting pitcher, has even been a touch better than John Gray. So you're getting all the advantages. You're getting the big hitting, the big bullpen advantages we talked about yesterday. Today it's a dog. I think yesterday, what was it, -105? Today, I think it's plus 105. I tweeted earlier. So gladly we'll go ahead and back the Mariners today against the Rangers. Yeah, we don't even, I just wanted to check one. Yeah, it's not even the, and it's just the second game here in a 3-game set. So, yeah, I like everything about it. I can't ignore those advantages. Those advantages in the bullpen and hitting are too big to ignore. So, Mariners money line for me. Plus 105. The other game I'm interested here and around the bases talking about is the Diamondbacks. They're going to go ahead and take on the Cardinals today. We've kind of been on this series here a little bit, but we know the Cardinals can't hit left-handers. They're league worst. We talked about it yesterday with Tommy Henry. We didn't know if he was going to be successful or not. He was successful because the Cardinals can't hit anything. They're still at the bottom just like they were yesterday. 100 plate appearances, 167 batting average, 274 slugging, and a 62 weighted runs created. That's not getting it done. When do you want to fade the Arizona Diamondbacks? Oh, yeah, when they go up against a right-handed pitcher. Kyle Gibson, up and down, but more good than up and down. But really, it's just the Diamondbacks fade versus right-handers. 213 batting average, 309 slugging, and 78 weighted runs created. So what are we interested in doing with this game? A little nervous on anything with the full game prediction, but I love how both of these teams are projected to struggle against today's starters. So that's what it'll be, the F5 under 4.5 runs. Give me the F5 under. A little nervous to put this one on the card because Montgomery did play for the Cardinals there for a while, and guys talk in the dugout. Maybe they'll have a little bit of egg on him. And then the other reason it didn't fully make the card is because the Diamondbacks have already seen Kyle Gibson 2 starts ago, so maybe they'll be a little more successful than what they were up against him last time out. But otherwise, I really just love 2 good pitchers against struggling offenses. That results in an F5 under 4.5 for me, so that'll be the play between the Diamondbacks and Cardinals. Let's shut up and pitch now. Give some respect to these pitchers. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll end up fading some pitchers. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's do Garrett Crotchet here of the Chicago White Sox first. This kid's been interesting, but I do think he's going to go over 15.5 outs today. And at plus 110, it's like, I'm going to take a stab at this one at plus 110. The Minnesota Twins, we know their struggles, right? 222 batting average, 356 slugging, and only an 81 weighted runs created. They have calmed down on the strikeouts, though, 19.1%, but that could also, go in your favor. That could be quicker outs as opposed to long, drawn-out outs that end in a strikeout. But either way, they're not hitting the ball really right now versus left-handers. And Garrett Crotch is also the reason why you only want this at plus money. If, let's say, by the time you come around, it's minus 120, minus 125 or something. It's probably not worth the stab at that rate because his season started off with 2 good cashes and then 3 misses, and it's a little upsetting because the 3 misses have been shorter in length every time. So we know this is MLB season debut. Are guys catching up to him? Because it's just very odd in terms of what's been going on with the back of his baseball card. I mean, really good against the Atlanta Braves, right? In that second start out. And yet he couldn't carry that into his next 3 as they're getting shorter and shorter. But with the Twins team that struggles to hit left-handers, he's shown that he's got it at plus money. I like Garrett Crotchet over 15.5 outs at plus 110. The other pitcher we want to go ahead and fade today, or this one we do want to fade. I guess we tailed Crotchet. Lodolo there of the Cincinnati Reds, under 7.5 Ks, minus 105. This is one where, just like yesterday, Taylor mentioned the CLV. This one's now minus 145. So I hope you guys are following me on Twitter. I don't hold plays back for the show. I buy them and I tweet them. We got this one at minus 105. This one's going to come with 0 analysis because we were on Andrew Abbott yesterday, another left-hander against these Phillies, who's easily stayed under 5.5 Ks. Same justification as yesterday, so we'll just spare you that justification and hope Lodolo can come through for us under 7.5 Ks at minus 105. Long shots. There's a long shot on the board. What is y'all's best dog of the day? I always love to hear from you guys. What is your best dog of the day? How big is it? I already gave you one, Mariners plus 105, but that's not going to go ahead and be the dog of the day. We don't want to double dip on the same game. There was a game on Monday where we said, Huh? Why are you taking the Yankees? Why are you taking the Yankees? We were on the Athletics. Today's the day to go right back to those Athletics, folks. Now, I'll mention it, I guess, in rapid fire, or I think I actually mentioned it in another inning. Hold on. Yeah, I'll spare that back. That half of the analysis back. Yankees hit 214. Oakland A's hit 213. Yankees slugged 313. Athletics slugged 337. Yankees weighted runs created 80. Athletics 87. 604 OPS for the Yankees, 619 for the Athletics. I mean, this is the exact same as Monday, guys. The Athletics have the better stats, yet everybody's going to throw their money behind the Yankees. I don't understand why. I'm not throwing my money behind those Yankees. No goddamn well. Now I would certainly do the Athletics plus 1.5 as well. That's basically at even money. But that plus money, that money line, you better sprinkle it just like you sprinkled it on Monday. Bullpens are ready to go for the Athletics, and if they get whatever the hell that kid's name was and Mason Miller to close it out, they ain't hitting that 102-mile-an-hour fastball. You saw how those swings on what was that Monday? They were ugly coming off Mason Miller. So I don't understand why the Yankees. Well, I do understand. It's just a public team, but maybe it's because of the starters. And somebody will throw in the comment section, Joe, Boyle here? Yeah. He's got some rough numbers on the back of his card, but he's going up against a struggling team. Clark Schmidt ain't nothing to write home about. I like the Athletics today. Give me the Athletics as the dog of the day, and I think I saw like a plus 185. We'll call it plus 185. I like the Athletics today as my dog of the day. Now, given this series and moving the scale over 10 days, their bullpen numbers, while they're still tight, they've actually flipped, and now the Athletics are better across the board than the Yankees across the board in the bullpen. Again, their high leverage guys are ready to go. I'll take the Athletics today, run line and money line. All right, fifth inning, keep swinging. Let's do some hitting props now. Let's do Brandon Nimmo there of the Mets. He's 9 for 17 up against Blake Snell, 2 Ks, 2 doubles. Love that. Andrew Benintendi of the White Sox. He's 5 for 11 off Joe Ryan. And this is a guy you maybe want to do over 1.5 total bases. And I thought about putting this on the card. He got a double, a triple, a home run off Joe Ryan. And in those 11 at-bats, he ain't struck out once. So he hitting the goddamn ball somewhere in that ballpark. I like that. And then I went and looked up his current batting average. His dude's hitting like 167 on the year. So it's like, man. Just didn't quite like that. But you can get over 1.5 total bases at plus 190. Of course, I took a stab at it personally. It's not going to make the card because the guy can't hit his way out of a wet paper bag this season, but been absolutely crushing Joe Ryan in his career. So Andrew Benintendi may be a guy that can give you a good plus money cash that you're getting good value on because of his struggles this season. So there we go right there. Sixth inning, it's a steal. I like to go ahead and give you my Nerfy of the day. And some days the Nerfies are just too good to have one. So if one is good, more is better. Both of these suckers made the card. Both of these can be purchased over at Bet Rivers for the best price. Let's go ahead and first do the Blue Jays and Royals. Nerfy at even money. Both of these teams are getting a Nerfy and 75% of their gains for each team. Rodriguez is on the mound for the Blue Jays. He's been clean in both of his starts. Not only has he been clean in terms of runs in both of his starts, he hasn't given up a hit in either start, and he's got 4 Ks in those both starts, so we love that. Marsh here, he's given up in 4 starts. One of those 4, he gave up a runs. 4 Ks in the 3 that he was clean, he got 4 Ks in them, so you like that. Teams are struggling and hitting right-handers. You get 252 and below the Mendoza line at 195 for the Kansas City Royals, so I'll lean on Rodriguez and Marsh to get it done at even money for a Nerfy. And then the other one I want to look at here is a team we've talked about a fair amount in terms of Nerfy and Mariners. Remember Mariners, Blue Jays? We were on it in that series. I'm going to do this one at minus 107. They're taking on the Rangers again, of course. Nerfy in 62 and 83% of the time. John Gray been clean in 3 of his 4. She was victimized of a 3-run home run against the Cubs, but otherwise been really sharp in the other 3. And Miller's been clean in all 4 of his starts, has yet to give up a run in the first inning. Teams are hitting 286 and 225. Good pitchers on the mound. Nerfy in a good percentage at minus 107. I like that price, so I'll put them both on the card. Mariners, Rangers, minus 107. Royals, Blue Jays coming in at even money. Best bet of the day. My guy Taylor, he mentioned CLV. You ain't getting much better CLV. Sometimes you get CLV on price. You want CLV on price, but you really want CLV on is a number. That's when you really nailed the spot. Blake Snell under 17.5 outs. Now it's down to 16.5 outs. So there you go right there. Great number that's come down for us. He hasn't gone over 5 innings pitched all season. He's at 3 starts. He hasn't gotten out of the 5th inning. Why the hell the books do giving us 17.5? We know the Mets crush left-handers. Crush them. Crush them. Last season against the Mets, he only went 5 innings pitched. The Mets, they don't strike out at 16.1%. They're going to make his ass work. They actually have a pretty good walk rate at 8.6%. They're going to really make him work. And then you know what the other 2 things are? Just like cherry on the top for this Blake Snell play. You know Logan Webb went 8 innings yesterday? That bullpen's ready to go. You know who doesn't play tomorrow? The Giants. So they got a rested bullpen coming off an 8-inning affair by Logan Webb. They don't play tomorrow. Blake Snell ain't come anywhere near going over 17.5 outs all season. Teams are making him work. I don't know what the hell he did while he was waiting for that contract, but obviously he was not throwing a baseball and staying sharp. Give me Blake Snell under 17.5 outs. Don't ask me if you want to play 16.5 outs. Let's go ahead and get to 8th inning, double play. Parlay of the day. Parlay of the day. Let's stay with this Mets game here for a second, taking on the Giants. I already expect, obviously, Blake Snell not to go very far in this game. So I like that. We already know the Mets crush left-handers. Giants versus left-handers as they're taking on Sean Manaea. They hit in 234. Weighted runs created is 85. Decent. Actually, below average. We're well below average slugging. 379, so not great numbers. Mets bullpen. Number 1 in Major League Baseball. 127 opponent's batting average. .93 whip also comes in at number 1. ERA comes in at 4th at 2.3. And the FIP of 2.97 comes in second best in Major League Baseball. Giants in those first 2 games, they used their closer in both of those games, and they used Rogers in both of those games. I'm well aware that Doval only pitched 5 innings, or only threw 5 pitches yesterday. You generally don't throw 3 days in a row, even though he was only 5 pitches. But even if he's thrown the first 2 days of the series, we've seen all the high leverage guys for the Giants. We haven't seen the high leverage guys here for the Mets. I like the Mets plus 1.5. Of course, I also like them on the money line before this parlay. I'll take Mets plus 1.5. And I'm going to parlay like that with Athletics Yankees under 8.5. Seen the first 2 games go under. Offenses are struggling. We talked about the numbers versus right-handers. We know their numbers versus left-handers from Monday's game. We played it with Rodon and J.P. Sears, and we know both of these bullpens are just damn stinking good. So under 8.5 between the Athletics and the Yankees. Mets on the run line at plus 1.5 runs gets you to a plus 185 parlay. All right, what am I betting today? And then let's talk about the other games that we haven't quite talked about yet. They're talking about, those are going to be the bets. Mariners money line plus 105. Lodolo under 7.5 Ks. Best bet of the day, Snell under 17.5 outs. And then 2 Nerfies there, even money in minus 107. All right. Mets must be the Athletics are at plus 195. Gray did pitch well versus them before. I don't care. He's got the, what did we say? Seattle's number 2 batting average? Yeah, 2 batting average. They're not striking out again, right? We talked about that yesterday. They've calmed down on the strikeouts. Their weighted runs created is 158, number 1 in baseball. I got the number 1 slugging in baseball. I got the number 1 OPS in baseball. They're just second in batting average behind the Padres by .003. Yeah, I don't care. Bryce Miller's been goddamn good. Bryce Miller has been really good. Need a big win for your wedding anniversary today. Oh, let's get it. Let's get it. A's money line. There you go. That'll be a nice big win. Plus 195. Plus 95 classifies as a big win. I'm going to ride with the Mariners, Jay. I ain't scared, man. I got massive bullpen and massive hitting advantages. But I hear you, man. Let's hope neither pitcher gives up a run in the first, and then the Mariners can turn up in the second and get it done. Logging in, getting real lines. That's what we like to do. What was the parlay again? Don't be sorry. You're all good. Athletics Yankees under 8.5, and Mets plus 1.5. Parlay of the day. Parlay of the day. All right. I'll get you here in a second, Kane. Diamondbacks and Cardinals over under of 7.5. Diamondbacks minus 102. Cardinals minus 118. That's interesting. I told you guys I do my handicapping at night, and I'll just kind of buy shit at night. Sometimes I tweet at night, but more it's just kind of like this, and then we'll kind of just see where it's at in the morning, and then I'll like buy it again in the morning and then tweet it. So therefore we've got the same price. Like sometimes I do have 2 units on a play. It is what it is. Anyways, I got this Diamondbacks Cardinals line at under 8.5. I got it at under 8.5 last night. It's now down to 7.5. I do agree with the under. Like I said, the F5 under. These teams struggling. You want to fade the Diamondbacks versus right-handers. If I had to go winner on this one, it's kind of just a race to get to the good arms based on yesterday's blowout win. Neither team threw good arms, so we know the Cardinals have a better bullpen. We got that cash the other night. We like to fade the Diamondbacks bullpen, but they haven't really been throwing their good arms, in this series. So I don't know if I like the 7.5. I really like that 8.5 last night. Winner's tough on this one. I really just think the best play could be the F5 under. I do like the full game under, I guess. Look at these stats one more time. Yeah, even the bullpens is kind of getting a little bit tight. I don't know. I'm going to go Diamondbacks on this one at -102. And now that it's 7.5, kind of avoid an over-under. I'll go Diamondbacks -102. Diamondbacks -102. Yeah, because they even saw Gibson earlier. So you may even get a little bit of advantage there. I'll go Diamondbacks -102. Diamondbacks -102. Mets and Giants. I like the Mets. I like the Mets at +105. I like the Mets plus 1.5 runs. Over under 7.5. I really wouldn't mess with that. Both of these teams are hitting, fairly good, respectively. Both of them are fitting good. But I just love how that Mets bullpen is set up for today. Avoid the sweep. Go into an off day. Fly back to the East Coast. Yeah, I like the Mets. Mets +105. Orioles and Angels. Tough one here. We know the Orioles crushed left-handers, but damn, I looked up Tyler Anderson. Dude's having a hell of a roll. Really good roll. Over-under of 9.5. Orioles -135. Angels +114. Probably would take the over 9.5. And this one, I guess I would come along with that Orioles -135. And boy, they hit left-handers hard. So they didn't do much to Reed Detmers. I mean, we got that cash on Monday, but it was sweaty. They didn't hit Reed Detmers, to be fair. They didn't hit Reed Detmers the amount that I expect them to hit. And Tyler Anderson's, he's been good. Actually, were the Angels big time still struggling versus righties? Yeah, see, that's why that over-under is tough, because they're good versus righties, too. I'll go Orioles just -135 and hope that they can just keep crushing left-handers. Orioles -135. Red Sox and Guardians, over-under of 7.5, +120 for the Red Sox. Guardians -142. Just like the Guardians. Just Guardians. Guardians getting it done yesterday. They out-pitch them. They out-hit them. They do, generally speaking, everything better. The starting pitchers is what really puts you off on this game, but from a hitting and bullpen, it's the Guardians. Guardians -142. Phillies and Reds, over-under of 8.5. Phillies +114. Reds -135. I like the Phillies, +114. Yesterday they obviously didn't hit Andrew Abbott. We obviously did a great job of, getting the good, strikeout prop. They're hitting, but that's kind of why we did that angle, because sometimes you don't get the hits, you don't get the runs, but you can avoid the K. I definitely expect that same thing against Lodolo. The numbers look good still versus left-handers. I like the Phillies at +114, because the Reds. Yeah, the Reds are, they're well below the Mendoza line. They're only hitting 181 versus right-handers. I like the Phillies. +114. The bullpen, they got their good arms, right? Because, they got blown out yesterday by the Reds. So, the bullpen numbers are ugly by the Phillies. We've talked about that. Jesus Christ, 7.17 ERA, dead last. 5.78 FIP, dead last. 279 opponents' batting average is fourth worst. Like, fuck, man. Bullpens are ugly. Maybe it's just the F5 money line and go with where your advantages lie, which is I hit left-handers and you can't hit right-handers, and I can avoid, which is, strategy I love, right? Take out either the good or the bad bullpen. I guess that would be the best bet in that game, but from rapid fire, I'll take Phillies on the money line at +114. Brewers and Pirates are on a bullpen day. Made this one a little bit tough. Brewers do have the better bullpen. Brewers do hit right-handers better. We'll assume more right-handers come out of the bullpen. I like Brewers at -122 to take down the Pirates. Dodgers and Nationals, over-under of 175. Nationals +145. This was when we sat here last Wednesday, and we said take the Nationals at 205. They got that 2 runs in the first inning and it held up. They won that game 2-0. I don't think that's going to happen again today. Good luck trying to face that Dodgers team on 5 days in a row. I think there's runs. I think there's runs aplenty in this game. I like over 9.5 between the Dodgers and Nationals. Expect both starting pitchers to get hit. I was going to use my system play on this, but the books are on it. They've taken the F5 up over to 6 right now. So 6 for a push and obviously 7 for a cash. That's a really high number. But I like it. I like the over 9.5 between the Dodgers and Nationals. Tigers and Rays over under of 8. Tigers minus 105. Rays minus 115. This is a tough one. Yeah, I mean, it's just so tough when you just look at this Tigers team because you just know they're going to pitch well and keep themselves in game. You know the bullpen is going to keep it tight late, keep them in games. It's the hitting. It's the hitting the Tigers like just – it's hard to pull the trigger with the Tigers. Is that Rays bullpen improving? Oh, yeah, it's coming up. Where are they at? There they are. Yeah. I go under 8. Under 8 and not trying to predict the winner. Tigers, Rays, under 8. Athletics, Yankees, I like the under 8.5. Athletics plus 190. Don't forget that run line. The run line will be the play for rapid fire. Run line plus 1.5 for the Athletics will be the play. I also like under 8.5. You can do both of them. I don't really care. I did both of them. Marlins and Braves got Sixto Sanchez. I always get a laugh out of that name. Sixto. He's pitching. Braves do it all better. There's a reason they're minus 245. It's actually justified because their bullpen's in the top 6 across the board. Offense is great. It outgrades the Marlins. I mean, Ronaldo Lopez is actually doing pretty good. I didn't like him as a member of the White Sox, but the Braves fixed him. Give him credit, man. So that's why, getting the right pitching coach and you can be fixed. He got fixed. Braves, run line, minus 122. That's fine. White Sox and Twins, over under of 6.5, plus 164 for the White Sox. Twins coming at minus 198. Now, I know the White Sox struggle here. Now, I know the White Sox are struggling big time. I mean, hey, the batting average came up. Still bottom of the barrel. Still well below the Mendoza line, but it came up. Yesterday it was 160 what? Now it's 179, so it's coming up. But we know the Twins also don't hit left-handers. I bet the bullpen, which is a reason why we took the prop we did, because we knew the bullpen for the White Sox I assume they threw their good arms because they were up 3-1 after 5. They threw Wilson, Kopech. All 3 relievers gave up runs. Yeah, I mean, these bullpen stats are ugly. All 3 dudes gave up runs. Wow. Or I assume those are their closers, Wilson and Kopech. Those are like setup man, closer. Kopech's the closer. Yeah. How's Michael Kopech the closer? He was good fade last year. Could never get out of the 5th inning. Threw way too many pitches. I'm going to take the over 6.5 here because the Twins bullpen is actually coming on down, falling out of the top 10, clinging to the top half of the league as the Minnesota Twins bullpen. I'll take the over 6.5. I'll also take the White Sox. I like Crotchet. Those are their last 3 starts. What you been doing, man? I'll just take the over 6.5. I'm not picking a winner in that game. Over 6.5. Over 6.5. Astros and Cubs, over and under a 7.5. Astros minus 105. Cubs minus 115. Yeah, Cubs. The same reasons why we liked the Cubs yesterday at plus 105. A slight favorite today. I'll run back the Cubs. Blue Jays and Royals, over under of 8.5. Blue Jays minus 135. Royals plus 114. Just tuck me in on the Nerfy, please. No errors. None of that bullshit screw job like yesterday. I still like the Blue Jays. So, Blue Jays minus 135. Mariners, of course, like them. They're now even money. Rangers minus 120 with an over-under of 9. Yeah. Don't care about an over-under on this one. We'll gladly back the better offense, better bullpen. Bryce Miller been equally as good as Gray. So, you damn near get all 3 advantages, and you're getting it at plus money. So, easy pull on the Mariners, and just hope they win. Padres and Rockies, didn't handicap it because the Rockies don't have a starter, and they still don't have a starter. So, I didn't look at that game. What do we got here? What do we got? I'll come back and get your Premier League, What do we think about the D-backs and Nerfy? Gave it a long consideration. The thing I didn't like about it, I tell you what, I had that one on my notes. I started filling it out. It's like, oh, this could be the Nerfy of the day. And then obviously I found two other ones I liked better. The thing that put me off of it, I'm going to get the exact percentage. I think it's 48%, but again, I'm just going off the top of my head from research. I want to make sure that's the exact number, but I'm pretty sure it's 48%. It's 48. It's sorry. They get a Nerfy in their games 52% of the time, which is number one in baseball. So that means on the flip side, they're scoring 48% of the time, which is number one in baseball. The Diamondbacks are number one in baseball in scoring the first inning. Then you add in Kyle Gibson, who they just saw 2 starts ago. That's what put me off of it. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, it looks great, though, because you got to come all the way down to 21st. They get a Nerfy in their games 80% of the time. And we know they don't hit left-handers. They didn't do a damn thing up. So Diamondbacks, though, number one in scoring the first inning. That put me off. And again, they saw Kyle Gibson, but I liked it. I bet it. I did all the research. I bet it. And I just found 2 better ones, I think, for the card. But I hope it hits because I've got money on it. Yeah, Mariners, yeah. And they've calmed down on their strikeouts, which is, not too surprising, right? I mean, they've come up on the hitting. They've stopped striking out. They're hitting the ball. I mean, it all kind of coincides and plays together. So, yeah. What do you think about the Nerfy on second innings? They say that seems to hit more often. Nah, that was a narrative last year that we were able to disprove. I'll refine those stats and try and get them tomorrow. But, yeah, we talked about that last year. There's literally games where you just, the numbers will go either way. I mean, there's teams that, obviously score a lot more runs in the second. That can go either. I'll try and find the same numbers we talked about last year on the show. But updated numbers, of course. Tigers are 10-3 on the road. I'd like to see that. I think I just like the under a touch more. Probably my mic. I'll fix it. Try and get it. Isn't 6.5 total a take on the over according to the squirrel? It was, and then Taylor messaged us on Twitter that actually said over. When I said that, Taylor on that exact same day hit me up on Twitter. He had he's the same, whatever the hell that website is. That's the same one that Squirrel uses, where you can just basically hit their database with a query, and then it you run said query and it pulls back all the games that fall within the whatever you're querying. He actually proved that actually it's an over or an under. I think Taylor was in here. Yeah, Taylor was maybe he's still in here, but he messaged me so long ago. I don't have that anymore on Twitter, but he actually, not saying he proved Squirrel wrong, but he had the information to prove Squirrel the opposite way. I can try and unplug it real quick. Here, let me mute it so it doesn't make a loud noise. All right, hopefully that's better. All right, let's come on back up here to, that's all the baseball I see. You can obviously throw another baseball question, but Kane wants to know about Premier League. This is what we got here, Kane. I'll even try and give you Matt's pick off the top of my head, too. I put together, using our $5 free bet, I've got every game in a parlay. This parlay comes out to $5.50. We both liked both teams to score in over 2.5 in Wolves-Bournemouth. Yeah, Wolves do have injuries, right? No Neto, no Cunha, but at the Molyneux, we gave out all the stats. It's like an 83% both teams to score hit rate. Like, it's all there, even though there are injury concerns. We both like both teams to score over 2.5. That's in my parlay. Palace, Newcastle. He likes Palace. I think he said he did plus his famous plus a quarter thing, which I don't know if I've ever really understood that bet, to be honest. I would love to ask him because if you get a draw, you win half, you lose half. I don't know if I get it, but he likes Palace plus a quarter. I like the under. We've seen Newcastle away from St. James's Park. The head-to-head has I think it was 4 of the last 5 have gone under. So I'm going to do the under 3.5 in this parlay, and that's not even bumping it up. That's the real line. I kind of like the under 2.5, but for this parlay, I did the real line at under 3.5. Everton, Liverpool. We both like Liverpool win to 0. We both like the under. Another one where the real line is 3.5, so that's the one I have in the parlay, but I kind of like under 2.5, but they're giving you 3.5. But I really just like Liverpool win to nil. I think Matt liked the under a touch more, if I'm recalling, than Liverpool win to nil. I think he liked under 3. No, he liked under 3. Yeah, he was doing the under 3 for a push to get the juice down, under 3. And then United, Sheffield, he liked both teams to score an over 2.5. I just like the over 2.5. You know, United, you never really know what you're going to get from them. I mean, Sheffield is basically a championship team. You saw what they did to Coventry. They dominated them for 65 minutes. So I hear Matt on the both team to score an over 2.5, but I'm just going to do the over 2.5. Put those 4 picks in a parlay and get you to plus 550. And that's how I'm going to go ahead and roll today in the Premier League. As for City, Brighton, Matt likes under 3, and I like both teams to score an over 2.5. Let me see what that current price is. I haven't given that bet out. I've been monitoring the price. I haven't looked at it all today. Let me see what that current price is. No Holland. If you listen to Guardiola today, he said no Holland, but it doesn't really matter. At least from their scoring ability, and he doesn't affect anything on defense. So having no Holland doesn't really matter for the play. It's now it's even money. The other day it was at minus 110. Now it's at even money. All right, but that's how it is, Kane. That's what that's how we like today, and then tomorrow we'll see if I give out Brighton City. We'll see if I give it out. Paid subscription. I'm not sure if I've heard that. I'll have to look that up. Anything else, boys? I'll have to look that up. We got 5 plays. Sorry those Nerfies aren't this afternoon where we can hang out. One of these days we'll get a Nerfie in the afternoon and we can hang out. But these 2 are in the nightcap, unfortunately. All right, boys. Anything else? Let's sit back. Let's watch these games. Let's ring this cash register. Let's have a good time. Hopefully you enjoy your day. Thanks for hanging out again. Come on back for tomorrow. We'll recap today and then dive on into the slate. All right, boys. Have a good one.